Hello Jane and Andrew. Thank you for taking some time to view this video. I'm Travis Miller with Last Dragon Digital Marketing. So the point of this video is twofold. One, to give you some tips and tricks you could use on your website to increase your online traffic, your revenue, your leads, and increase your business. And two, is to compare your website to a local competitor's website and see if those tips and tricks could outrank them, get on the first page of Google from the eyes of a lot of consumers, which will lead to more leads. So I'll talk about three things: content, backlinks, and citations. So whatever I talk about here, you could use on your own for your website. But if you want to talk about that or anything further, please feel free to reach out. My door is always open. But either way, if you leave me a few lines of feedback on this actual video, that'll help me get better at making these videos for local businesses. All right, so let's get started here. So in content, you need anywhere on your homepage, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 words, just depending on the competition, number of keywords needed. So a keyword is anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. So in your content, you can place keywords throughout to tell Google exactly what terms you want your website to be found for. So as you see here, you got a good start to your website. Well, one thing I would definitely recommend is just increasing your content, your words on there, because the more content you have, the more relevant it is, the more searchability you have in Google. It gets your website in front of the eyes of consumers. But good start to the website. Speaking of Google, so if I'm a consumer in Tacoma, Washington, I need plumbing services, I might type this in, and here's what typically comes up. There's ads here. That's something you can invest in. It's hit or miss. A lot of times consumers skip over ads. We call this a map pack here. That's for citations. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But we call these organics here. We feel this is the most important for searchability with services and products. So the goal is to be on the first page of any kind of service you do or area you provide. You want to be on that first page of Google. So as you scroll down here, you see you're not on the first page of Google. And you might have heard the saying, great place to hide a dead body. It's on page 2 or 3 of Google. So you want to be right in the front of the eyes of consumers. So that's the goal. So I'll compare your website to one of the top competitors' websites that's showing up in Tacoma, Washington for plumbing services. Not saying, the goal is to eventually be at the top here with the top competitor, but even if you beat this guy out, the Service Plumbing Tacoma, if your website could beat him out, you'll be on the first page, and that'll lead to more traffic and leads. So to do that, to compare the two websites, we use a tool called Ahrefs. And this is your URL, so here's your numbers. So on your website, you only have 6 keywords on your website. So as I was saying earlier, you definitely want to increase your keywords and your content. So just think of all the buyer intent services you provide: plumbing service, plumbing repair, all the services that you do and all the areas you do in the Seattle area, Seattle, Washington area. And you can get very creative on increasing your keywords. So compare that to your local competitor. And here's his website here, Service Plumbing Tacoma. And there's his URL. So see, right, he's used over 1,000 keywords. So here's the great thing about keywords and websites. You could take whatever they're using and you could put it on your website, and there increases your searchability. Like for instance, if you don't have this already, plumbing Tacoma, Washington, you can embed that in your website and you got 400 searchability. So you want to have higher search volume, the better. And here's another one: plumbers in Tacoma. So that'll give you some searchability. So you could take what he has that applies to you, put it in your website. That gets you that much closer to outranking him on Google. Then secondly, there's backlinks. So backlinks is anywhere where your website is linked to another website. So these act like an endorsement of your website from others, which Google uses that to build trust in your business by seeing others vouch for you. Think of it also like a popularity contest. Person with the most backlinks wins. But keep this in mind, not all backlinks are created equal. It's very important to have other plumbing services, HVAC services, plumbing and drain services websites linking back to you. Just doesn't help if a restaurant or a doctor's office website is linking back to you. It doesn't give you that searchability, trustability in Google. So right now on your website, you're using 7 backlinks with 6 reference domains. So that's the one thing you also want to increase is your backlinks. Comparing that to your local competitor, Service Plumber Tacoma, he's using over also 1,000 backlinks with 190 reference domains. So the goal is to get close to these numbers. So if you get close to these numbers, then that traffic, you'll start outranking this competitor on Google. And then finally, there's citations. So in citations is anywhere where your business name, your number, your address is shown exactly on your Google business profile. Citations help you rank this map pack here, which is extremely important for local businesses since this can generate huge amounts of revenue. Again, you want to be on the first 3, or sometimes there's 4, but want to be in the top 3. Much like pages 2 or 3 of Google, people don't push this button for more businesses or services. So you want to be right in the eyes of consumers with your Google business profile as well. And citations include directories like Yelp, Angie's List, Expertise, BBB. There's hundreds of others you've probably heard of. Also, social media accounts are great too. So here's the idea. Your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet. The larger your online presence is, the more Google trusts you. So once Google sees you more often than these competitors, the more likely it is you outrank them. So once your content, your backlinks, your citations all come together with your website, you start to outgrow your competitors, and here's what you might be looking at and why that's worth it. To be in the eyes of consumers here and down here. So not sure what your margins are, but I imagine that will generate some pretty decent revenue for you. Also, there's usually many more keywords you could use to generate more and more traffic and leads. So this is what I do. I create this video for you to start generating those leads on your own. But if you do find yourself wanting more to continue scaling as far as you want, feel free to reach out. I could help you out with that, give you some more information, or we could talk about your goals. I could do the research to find out exactly what could be realistic for you, for your business, and what it might take to reach those goals. So again, if you leave me a few lines of feedback, that'll help me out to make these videos. And again, my name is Travis Miller with Last Dragon Digital Marketing. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Hopefully this was informative. Much luck in your business. Have a great day.